Johnny Depp with a closed fist in the history of your relationship with Johnny.
After years of participating in one of the most tumultuous relationships of our generation, both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are facing a huge amount of backlash now that allegations of physical abuse have been swung around. And ever since Johnny and Amber were fired from Fantastic Beasts 3 and Aquaman 2 respectively, people just can't seem to get enough of them. But what do we really know about the relationship, and who should be trusted above the other when it comes to the many allegations that have been made in court? Well, whether you're a fan of the couple or just want a comprehensive timeline of the relationship that spawned this problematic scenario, you've come to the right place, as we're about to explore the ins and outs of the craziest relationship since Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So buckle up and get ready for a bumpy ride, as things are about to get juicy. Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Before it all began, Johnny Depp has always been one of the most desired men in Hollywood because of his jovial attitude towards life and incredible portrayals on the silver screen. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise would not have been such a roaring success without him, for example, and the only good thing about the second Fantastic Beasts appeared to be his devilish portrayal of Gellert Grindelwald, which succeeded despite J.K. Rowling's terrible script. Although the ins and outs of his previous relationships were always kept under wraps, probably his most famous venture was alongside Winona Ryder from 1989 to 1993. He then went to date Kate Moss from 1994 to 1998, followed by Vanessa Paradis from 1998 to 2012. It wasn't until he met Amber Heard on the set of 2009's The Rum Diary that he fell truly in love, though, which essentially led to him and Vanessa calling their relationship quits. When asked about the relationship with Johnny, Vanessa said, "I've always known Johnny to be a kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father." Amber Heard, on the other hand, was mostly known in Hollywood for her incredible beauty and talents on stage. Without her playing the psychopathic Mandy Lane so well, there's no way that All the Boys Love Mandy Lane would have become such a classic in the horror genre. Slowly but surely, however, she began to branch out into other genres. It was this branching out which led her to meet Johnny on the set of the comedy Rum Diary, a year after she begun to date photographer and painter Tasia Von Reed. This relationship lasted around 4 years, ending in 2012, because of the connection she felt for Captain Jack Sparrow himself. On the topic of their relationship, USA Today reported that Heard was actually arrested in 2009 on a charge of physically assaulting Von Rhee at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington. According to sources, the two got into a disagreement after Heard allegedly grabbed and hit Van Reese's arm. These charges, however, were dropped when Van Rhee claiming that the police on scene had misinterpreted Heard's action as assault. The honeymoon phase. As you can see, it all started when Depp and Heard met on the set of The Rum Diary, which was actually based on a book written by one of Depp's closest friends, Hunter S. Thompson. While Depp played the role of Paul Kemp, Heard portrayed the role of Chanel, a woman engaged to another man whom Kemp is immediately smitten with upon seeing her. Suffice it to say, it was the method acting between the two that clearly sparked a fire, falling deeper and deeper in love with one another whilst trying to make comedy gold. When asked about her working environment on set of 2001, Heard said, "Working with Johnny was torture. It was better than I ever imagined," which is really saying something. The two attractive humans then started dating in the early days of 2012, after Johnny and Vanessa had split amicably, leaving his children Lily Rose and John Christopher in Vanessa's custody. Johnny did, however, still make a plan to see them whenever he could. The relationship between Depp and Heard stayed out of the papers until in 2014, when she was caught wearing an engagement ring, which led People magazine to report the couple were due to tie the knot. Depp confirmed this fact in a happy little interview with the Daily Mail later that week. It was then in 2015 that Depp and Heard got married in a private ceremony at their residence in Los Angeles. This wasn't the end for 2015, though, which saw the couple breaching Australia's biosecurity laws after failing to declare their Yorkshire Terriers when arriving in the country. They joined together to release an apology video shortly thereafter, where Johnny looked to be a bit off. The beginning of the end. On the 23rd of May 2016, Heard decided to bring the relationship to a close by filing for divorce. She also ended up securing a temporary restraining order against Johnny, alleging that she needed protection from him after he physically abused her during their relationship. She also stated that the majority of this abuse was the result of Johnny's attitude towards drugs and alcohol, which he indulged in quite frequently. More specifically, Heard had claimed that Depp had thrown his phone at her, bruising her in the face in the process. She even released pictures of her bruised face as proof of the incident. A police spokesperson did, however, end up telling People magazine that after a thorough investigation into the domestic incident radio call, no crime had actually taken place. It's no surprise that Depp denied these accusations, and through his legal representation said that Heard was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse. On the 16th of August 2016, a $7 million settlement was then reached out of court, when Heard agreed to drop her request for a final domestic violence restraining order, as well as her request for spousal support of $50,000 a month. By ending things seemingly amicably, the two released a joint statement where they described their relationship as follows. "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm." According to People magazine, Heard had also decided to donate the $7 million settlement amount to charity, but no evidence of this was ever made public knowledge. The finalized end. The divorce proceedings were then finalized in 2017, with Heard keeping custody over the Yorkshire Terriers we mentioned earlier. earlier, while Depp retained possession of all his assets, including his private island in the Bahamas, as well as his collection of classic cars and motorcycles. According to The Hollywood Reporter, however, a non-disparagement clause was included within the settlement that prevented either party from speaking badly about the relationship, breakup, or other party. Surely this meant things were over, right? The start of something new. Things were unfortunately not that simple though, with her then writing an op-ed for the Washington Post in which she alleged once more that she had been physically abused. In the scandalous piece, she wrote how she'd become the public figure of domestic abuse and had come to feel the full force of society's wrath for women who speak out. She never mentioned Depp by name though, using leading statements to infer that he was indeed the one who physically abused her throughout the relationship. This led to Depp suing Heard in the amount of $50 million for defamation of his character, with the suit stating that Heard was not the victim of domestic abuse, but the perpetrator during the time that they were together. The suit further alleged that Heard was using the publicity gained from her pedestal status to generate more clicks to hopefully receive more acting roles which had passed her by. Heard then countered this suit with one of her own, in which she alleged specific instances where Depp had abused her, referring to him on and off as the monster. It was a messy situation where Depp had also alleged that Heard had various affairs while married to him. The names of Elon Musk and James Franco were even thrown up, who Heard was known to be close to. It wasn't until 2020 that at least some evidence was placed before the court of public opinion though, which caused the majority of fans to lean towards Johnny, who had, to that point, been slandered left and right by the media. Those damning phone recordings. January 2020 not only saw the global health situation come onto the scene and change the world forever, it also saw the release of some audio files in which Amber Heard could be, well, heard saying some dastardly thing. In the shortened clip, Heard admits to physically abusing Depp, but defends herself by stating that he was absolutely fine after the incident. In response to him claiming that she had punched him, she responded in her own words as follows: "I'm sorry I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe. You're not punched. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you." Depp can also be heard saying he had left that night because he couldn't take the physical abuse anymore, and if they had continued, things would have gone really bad. In his own words to Heard, he says, "And babe, I told you this once. I'm scared to death. We are a crime scene right now." To which Heard responded, "I can't promise you I won't get physical again. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I sometimes get so mad I lose it." The loss of the libel case. Although all the evidence seems to point towards Heard being the perpetrator of physicality in their long, tumultuous relationship, Depp still ended up losing his libel against the publishers of the Sun newspaper, who had referred to him as a wife beater. Once more, Johnny's past suitors came to his defense, with Winona Ryder stating under oath, "The idea that he's an incredibly violent person is the farthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations." On discussing the win, a spokesperson for the Sun referred to the newspaper being a voice for those who have suffered domestic abuse, and that such victims should never be silenced. With the amount of evidence laid against Heard's testimony, it's strange to hear how a court of law could have established abuse from Depp's side and not Heard's, and caused, quote, "justice for Johnny" to trend for months on end. Since Depp had launched a $50 million libel case against Heard as well, things are far from over, so we'll make sure to update you as soon as we hear more. But what do you think about the situation? Let us know in the comments section down below.